everyone, and welcome to Bottom Line with Roni and Byron. We have some news to get to you today, and we're going to start with the Florida bill that will keep lottery winners a secret.
In national news, we'll talk about how President Biden plans to speak about Ukraine amid unconfirmed reports of evacuations from separatist areas.
And then we'll go to sports and congratulate our Malone Tigers who are on their way to the regional finals.
And in our Around the Town segment, I get to recap as I went and got my first colonics at Colonics and Massage in Mariana.
And then we'll go to our Relationship Tea segment. We'll give you some Black history facts as well as some health tips. So Byron, let's get to it. We have a bill that actually has passed the Senate, the Florida Senate. It passed 37-1 that will keep Florida lottery winners who have won over $250,000 for 90 days. What do you think about that?
So how much was it again?
If you've won over $250,000, your identity will remain a secret for 90 days.
Wow. So hey, now I'll go play. For a while I wouldn't play because I was like, if I hit, I don't want nobody to know. so now I'll take my shot. They'll get more people to play now, so I don't have to worry about nobody putting my business out there.
You know what? I've always wondered, why does it have to be publicized anyway? I never understood that. I thought it was a risk to put people's winnings out there, for robbery or whatsoever. But if you win over $250,000, this is only for 90 days. So it will be made public after that if this bill passes.
Yeah. Because to that point, it's a lot of people that have been murdered, have been lost family, and all that type of stuff due to the fact that the information gets put out. I mean, it's kind of like putting a target on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about. So we'll keep an eye on it, but it has passed through the Senate. It passed 37-1, and I guess it'll be heading to the governor's desk. And with that said, I want to make sure that people understand that the local and state news is brought to you by Brightway Insurance. Brightway Insurance has all of your insurance needs, whether it's property, business, auto, life insurance, anything you need. Contact Brightway Insurance. You can reach them at 850-633-3460. And they're located at 2867 Caledonia Street in Mariana. My next story, Byron, we're going to talk about the proposed bill in the Florida legislature that's going to make money management as well as financial planning a requirement for high school students. Byron, I think that is an awesome idea. I look at it as if it prepares our kids for the future. What do you think?
I agree. This bill, so it's something that personally I've been, in spaces and making that conversation that comes up all the time about how financial literacy is not taught at all. And this is the first step to many other steps to getting basic trades back in the schools. But our kids, I battle it now, trying to teach my oldest how to manage money, because as soon as he gets up, he got to spend it. But yeah, it's so important. And then when they get to that next level, I think probably the most that we learned in school when I went was balancing a checkbook, which was big, but to go even further in detail on that and how to manage money, that is, financial literacy is so important, because we got too many adults walking around here today that are completely lost when it comes to that concept. But I agree. So where are we now with that bill, Ronnie?
Well, it's House Bill 1115, and it's actually, I wanted to give you the background. It's actually named after a former legislator. Her name is Dorothy L. Huckle. So it's called the Dorothy L. Huckle Financial Literacy Act. She's died in 2018. But the bill, it's 1115, House Bill 1115. Byron, the key thing is it will be a half-hour elective credit, and it will start in ninth grade. Ninth graders will have the option to take it. And so they'll learn how to balance a checkbook, the principles, the basic principles of money management, whether it's, credit cards, your credit scores, managing debt, including retail. And, credit cards come in the mail all the time to different, people homes. So want to make sure people understand that it's very important for kids to get that knowledge early. Also, it'll cover loan applications. Even if people that have inheritance, they'll teach them how to deal with that. So taxes, how to file your taxes. I am looking at this as a win-win for not only the students, but for the parents as well. So right now, the bill, I think it's actually, it's in the Senate right now. So we'll keep our eye on that and kind of see how it moves along. But I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a bill that passes. I don't see any type of negativity to it, So because currently, if the current law requires students to have 8 hours of elective. So this is like a half an hour credit. So I don't, it can't be hard, to implement this into the curriculum.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. So we'll keep our eye on that and report back to our audience on how that moves through. And then I want to talk about our next story, which is we had a chance to talk to one of the candidates. We have several candidates running for state representative for District 5. And one of them is Vance Coley. And so we had a chance to talk to Vance, and this is how it went. We have a candidate for state representative, District 5, Vance Coley. Welcome to the show, Vance. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on this afternoon.
We're glad to have you. Now tell us a little bit about yourself. Most people may not know you, but just give us a brief history of who you are and let people know that you're from the area.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love having an opportunity to tell my story because I love this area so much. I was born and raised in Marianna. This is home. It's always been home. I moved away for a little while to go to school and actually worked on political campaigns for some of my early 20s. But as soon as I had a chance, I moved back home to Marianna to begin working to kind of better this community and working with some of our wonderful partners in the community that have really renewed a sense of involvement here. So as I said, I'm from here. I was born and raised here. I went to school at Marianna High School. So this is home. The Florida Panhandle has always been home. And we have seen that change over the years. It looks a lot different now than it did when most of us were born. And I'm sure it will look much different in the coming years. So what I do for a living, I work for David Melvin. And what my role is I help local governments fund projects that they need, but don't necessarily have the resources for. So as you can imagine, our primary focus right now is Hurricane Michael recovery. And as I got in that role, I really realized just how many needs still existed in this part of the state. For many people outside of Jackson County and in our area, Hurricane Michael's over. But we know here at home that Hurricane Michael is very much still going on. We still have lots of recovery that needs to take place. And I began to look around and look to see who might carry our representation to Tallahassee and tell that story in the coming years, as we will have an open seat. And I didn't see anybody that I thought could carry that message as well as I could. So I threw my hat in the ring, filed paperwork to run for state representative, and that's where I am now. And what that role looks like and what that kind of campaign looks like right now is listening. We've got a lot of talkers in politics. We don't have many listeners. And that's a problem because I know what my life is like, but I don't always know what your life is like or what your needs are. And so that's what I'm doing right now is kind of going around and listening, finding out what people's needs are, and finding out how I can best carry their voice to Tallahassee and make sure that our rural communities, because District 5 is a rural district. We do have Walton County, which has coastal areas. We now include Calhoun County. But as you can see, Jackson County, Washington County, Holmes County, Calhoun County, these are very rural counties that aren't always given attention in Tallahassee. And so that's my priority and why I'm running is to make sure that there's somebody over there being a squeaky wheel. There's somebody willing to be a little bit annoying on behalf of their constituents and make sure that when we see the budget come out every year, it's not just Miami, it's not just Tampa, it's not just Jacksonville, but Marianna, Bascom, Jacob City. I saw Jacob City in the budget last year, and that was exciting because we don't always see that. Exactly. And so that's really what I'm doing is trying to carry forward the momentum of recovery but doing so in a way that we're not only recovering here in the Panhandle, but we're building back just a little bit better to make sure that we can take advantage of this growth, this record growth that's coming to our area. Because as we know it, Florida's full below us, Florida's full to the left of us, and Florida's full to the right of us. Growth is coming, whether we're ready or not. But I want to make sure that we are growing in a strategic way so that our citizens are, number one, taken care of with the infrastructure they need, and we can encourage that growth in a healthy way. So that's kind of a bird's eye view of me and my campaign, but I'll tell you what I love the most about this is being able to answer questions. So I would love to answer any questions you have, or and to your listeners and to your watchers. Vance Coley for Florida.com. That is my website. That's got all of my information, and that's also got my contact information. Any questions that we don't answer today, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to chat.
Well, I'm glad you shared that information, Vance. So, Byron, that's just only a portion of the interview that I had with Vance Coley. You know, in that piece right there, he gives his background and tells a little bit about, you know, what he wants to do and what he sees. But we will air the entire interview on Tuesday, so people can get a chance to get to know this candidate. And the segment will be called Get to Know the Candidate. And we'll try to get, you know, other candidates leading up to the election, so people can, you know, get a feel for, you know, who's going to be on the ballot. If you don't know, you know, Brad Drake is currently the state representative for District 5, and so he's termed out, and that's why you have this election coming up. And so again, we will air the entire interview with Vance Coley on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that.
So,
and I want
to get in the know real quick, to get in the know candidate. That's for anybody that's out there that's running for elections. If you want to come on Bottom Line Ronnie and talk to the audience, to let them know who you are and what you're about. This will be a great platform for us. So all of our viewers and followers, please put that information out, because we definitely want to hear what you got to say and give you an opportunity to reach more potential voters as well.
That's right. So keep that in mind, and we'll have more candidates on the show. So I want to go ahead and move to another aspect of our show. We do like to recognize different people, and we have two young ladies who are turning 100 years old. Actually, birthday is today, the 19th. That's Miss Irene Bowles. She is 100 years old today. So happy birthday, Miss Bowles. And then we have Miss Annie B. Gibson, whose birthday is on Wednesday, February the 23rd. So both of these young ladies are turning 100 years old. So if you see them on the street, be sure to wish them a happy birthday and ask them what's the secret to living to 100 years old. Byron, I think that is such a blessing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Miss Gibson's birthday is going to be, we share the same birthday. So my birthday is February 23rd as well. I only pray and hope that I can reach her level and get 100 myself. But yeah, shouts out to Miss Sharon McMillan. She reached out for us to make sure we gave some coverage to her drive-through parade as well. It's going to be, I think it's going to be held at 3 p.m. that day on Orange Street in Mariana. So if anybody wants to go and pay their respects, that please do so at 3 p.m. on Orange Street in Mariana, Florida. But yeah, that's great. That's quite an accomplishment. 100 years old. What is centennials?
Yeah, exactly.
Centennials. Awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah. And also you mentioned your birthday. So we'll wish you a happy birthday right now. And also it's my husband's birthday on a Wednesday, which is February 23rd. So
oh man,
3 birthdays right.
Yes. Yeah, on the same day. I knew I liked him.
Happy birthday, Roger, as well.
Yeah.
So again, the local and state segment is brought to you by Brightway Insurance. Brightway Insurance is located in Mariana at 2867 Caledonia Street. Be sure to contact them at 810-633-3460. What do you have for national news, Byron?
So for national news, before I get into it, I want to talk about People's Funeral Home. Because we care, we're here when you need us. Long and Granbury Funeral Services Incorporated, doing business as People's Funeral Home. Mariana and Battle Mortuary, Panama City, Florida, offers services that is within the reach of all. Their caring staff is available 24/7 or when the need arises. The services are designed to commemorate the life being remembered at a price suitable for all. So please give Cephas and Gwen a call at 850-482-2233. Again, that's 850-482-2233, or simply stop by for more information. That's People's Funeral Home. So my first story, I want to begin to talk about President Biden. He's to speak about Ukraine amid unconfirmed reports of evacuations from separatist area. So Putin sends these mixed signals. Vladimir Putin sends the mixed signals, demanding that the West accept his terms about talks of diplomacy. So he's putting it out there that he's really not wanting to invade Ukraine. He wants to keep it diplomatic, but the United States is not buying it. Russian-backed leader announces evacuation of civilians from these breakaway Ukrainian regions like around the border. So you have these Russian separatist groups that live within Ukraine. They kind of keep a lot of fighting and back and forth going over the years, and they're basically having people evacuate, saying that Ukraine is going to do something. And what President Biden's cabinet is saying, what the administration is saying, is that this is a smoke screen. This is something where President, Vladimir Putin is basically setting up to have the separatist group, make up a story and say that they've been attacked by Ukraine, and then this will then cause Russia to respond. So it's just one of those things for Russia to, kickstart things and get it going. And it's a bit, I know it could be a bit confusing for people. What's the big deal, but this whole situation now is kind of like a chess game. But yeah, you've got this crisis going on. Putin is saying he's not going to do anything, and America's saying I'm not buying it. So I'm trying to bridge the gaps to answer the question, because I know a lot of people are probably like, well, what's the big deal with Russia and Ukraine? Why all this back and forth? Why they want to take it? If it makes any sense, if I go back to say Iraq and Kuwait, Saddam Hussein wanted to invade Kuwait because Kuwait was very rich in oil, very, very rich in oil. And when we look at Ukraine, we look at the history of Ukraine. Ukraine for a long time, way back in the 1800s and prior, were considered a part of Russia, and then they got their independence, but they were considered back then Little Russia, and a lot of atrocities were done to the Ukrainian people.
That's why people was trying to figure out what's the why do they care so much about Ukraine? Yeah. Like, why do they do that?
And so the Ukrainians, over the years, I mean, it was almost 7.5 million people were basically starved to death. This was during the Stalin era. And they were considered, they were called, little Russia. So Russia never considered them to be independent. They had their own language. They couldn't, practice language. And fast forward, they gained their independence. Well, Ukraine is wanted to be a part of the European Union and NATO. If they become a part of the European Union, NATO, this basically creates a perimeter around Russia where there's nobody economically that will, work with Russia, and it creates a control of Russia. So just to give some context, Ukraine is very rich in natural resources. They're the 7th largest in the world and the 2nd largest in Europe of coal reserves. Oil and natural gas, they rank 26th among all the countries in the world, and this is before Crimea, which is really a part of Ukraine, but Russia has basically strong-armed them and said, no, we're annexing that a part of Russia. No one else in the world considers Crimea a part of Russia, but Russia does. And
so how does that affect
same pipes, those same. So right now, gas prices are high because of Russia. If Ukraine becomes a part of NATO, a part of the EU, then they control, then we don't have to get the oil through Russia. We get it through Ukraine. And if Russia does anything, now Ukraine will be backed by NATO forces and not just, kind of a handshake deal with the little diplomatic talks, what America is doing right now. They'll have a bigger big brother to bigger brothers to back them. So this is something that's been going on for a while, though. This is not something new. So it's kind of like one of those things that's kind of been kicking the can down the road. And I think we're at that point where something's gonna pop off. So
what do you think Biden is thinking at this point, as far as, because like you said, it's been going on for a while now.
Well,
what do you think?
I'll tell you what he's thinking. So if we fast forward this story right now, where Putin they know he doesn't want NATO to be strong. So the U.S. just approved $6 billion in a tank deal with Poland, which is another nation that kind of circumferences Russia. And in doing that, America, our military force is drawn down on our tanks, the Abrams tanks that we were so loved, and that was my choice of war. I was a tanker. I was an M1 Abrams, and over 250 Abrams. Well, M1A1 Abrams tank is a 48-ton piece of God-fearing metal that goes through and just annihilates everything, because we train to tear stuff up. But that's a tank. That's the American model version of our fighting tanks, and we actually drew down. So like one of the last tank unit was disbanded. I want to say it was last year, or maybe it was 2020, maybe 2019. But those tanks and others and newer models created by General Dynamics are being sold to Poland. So this is going to strengthen them. And also other deals.
So that's what I was trying to say. What does that relate?
Yeah. So he's all so America's already strengthening up allied forces that's around Russia, so that once this alliance, this full NATO alliance around it, Russia's gonna have to it's a chess game. It's a chess game that's been going on for quite some time. And America has not forgotten Gorbachev's promise to destroy America through peaceful coexistence. So we didn't forget those words. So it's something that just keep an eye on it. So I'm pretty sure something America is planning for something to happen, and Russia's kind of been playing that game, and we'll see. But I think Putin is kind of out of if he doesn't gain control of Ukraine, he doesn't have much left, in regards
that's
to
what
Russia's.
People did not know.
Yeah, in regards to Russia's,
they didn't know that. They didn't understand what was the
because
peace.
Ukraine has a lot. I mean, even iron ore, manganese. I mean, they got a lot of rich. Yeah, I mean, it's worth a lot. But so that's it. To my next story, Canadian police arrest 2 leaders of protesting truckers. So there's been a big protest going on in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, regarding truckers, and they've been barricading, blocking entrances of Parliament Hill. And so 2 people were arrested. The statement that was made by Ottawa Police Chief Steve Bell was the action is imminent. So we're absolutely committed to end this unlawful demonstration. They've been trying to basically do things, but they want things to be done peacefully, but they're at the point where it's now going to take some force to stop the protest and then stop the basically the blockades that are shutting down the border crossings into the U.S. and they want to cease any people from outside countries, i.e. America, coming in to join in that protest. But right now, as it stands, 2 leaders of the protesting were arrested, and we'll see what comes next. Maybe they're trying to use that age-old strategy of killing the head and the body dead type scenario. So hopefully they'll get it together in Canada. But the whole start of it was that they're protesting the mandates and the vaccine mandates that are going on in Canada. So
that was the catalyst.
Yeah. So America's not going through the only ones going through mass mandate and vaccine turmoil. Looks like it's going on in Canada as well. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and my last story, something that hits very home to me that I know people may find funny, but hey, I'm an avocado guy. I love avocados. Like to make me some guacamole, But looks like there's a Mexico avocado ban that could leave the U.S. lost for guacamole. So, U.S. suspends all imports of as you were, avocados from Mexico following a cartel-related threat. So in Mexico, there's a lot of back and forth going on between cartels, and they're basically threatening to do harm to American inspectors. So hence America's fell back and said, "Hey, we're gonna stop for a minute." And so everybody's trying to grab up as much avocados as they can, and there's no telling. The statements that one CEO Nicole Marquise stated that of Hip City Veg said that we can't sell a bowl of guacamole for $20, so we're just gonna have to wait it out. So if you notice in the next few days or weeks that you're not finding as many avocados as normal, is due to this cartel threat. So
So that means
USDA
then the ones will go up as well, right? The price will probably go up.
Yeah, the price will definitely go up. So everybody's saying that they're just gonna have to wait and see what's gonna turn out. But I'm hating it. So no avocados. Avocados they're good for trying to burn abdominal fat, and stuff like that. So I've grown really keen to those avocados. But
You just eat guacamole, or you do anything else with them?
I'll do like especially for breakfast, I'll do like an avocado egg sandwich, slice it up, and we do, and then guacamole, I'll put that on any sandwich I make. But I normally I kill them when I make my breakfast avocado sandwich. So, but
okay,
yeah, I'll run.
Probably the only one that eats that, right? Are you the only one that eats that? Are you the only one that eats that in your home?
Yeah,
I thought so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But that's national news for me. And before I leave, I want to talk about People's Funeral Home. Because we care, we're here when you need us. Long Granbury Funeral Services Incorporated, doing business as People's Funeral Home, Mariana and Battle Mortuary, Panama City, offer services that is within the reach of all. Their caring staff is available 24/7 or when the need arises. Their services are designed to commemorate the life being remembered at a price suitable for all. So please give Cephas and Gwen a call at 850-482-2233. That's 850-482-2233, or simply stop by for more information. That's People's Funeral Home.
All right, we're going to move to sports, our sports segment today, and we're going to congratulate the Malone men's basketball team. They have advanced regional finals. They had a game on Thursday night against Bozeman, and they won that game 76-52. And so now they will play on Tuesday, which is the 22nd. They play Franklin County in Malone at 6 p.m. So congratulations again to the Malone Tigers. They're on their quest for a state ride, and so we want to make sure that we are supporting our local team. This is 1A boys basketball team. So Malone Tigers, we wish you the best on Tuesday night against Franklin County. Now another game that was Thursday night was Mariana. Yeah, Malone is back. That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Now I do want to mention this. Malone is the number 1 seed for the District 1A. So they are pretty much the favorites. But the other game that took place on Thursday night, Byron, was Mariana. Mariana played they played Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson in Jacksonville. And Andrew Jackson is the number 1 team in 4A. And Mariana didn't pull out the victory, but they only lost by 3 points. So they were the number 8 seed. So that was a pretty good matchup. I think they did very well. So congratulations to Mariana Bulldogs, even though they did not pull off the victory, but congratulations anyway. So again, Tuesday night, February 22nd at 6 p.m. in Malone, make sure you check out that game, the Malone Tigers against Franklin County. And I'm going to move on to the NBA All-Star. That's this weekend. That's today. Started yesterday, Friday. So it's today. And then tomorrow is the game. I don't know if you see my background, but I love watching the NBA All-Star too. Tonight is a slam dunk contest. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah,
All the activities on. Yeah. That's one of the favorite activities. There's a lot of activities that occurred, throughout the 3 days, but the slam dunk contest is one of the highlights of the weekend. So that's tonight. And then tomorrow is the game. The game is at 6 p.m. on TNT. You have Team Durant against Team LeBron. So you have your Eastern Conference against your Western Conference. So on Durant's team, you got Joe Morant, you got Jason Tatum, Andrew Wiggins, Trae Young, all your, Eastern Conference stars. And then on the West, Team LeBron, you got Giannis, Stephon Curry, just all your favorites of here. And it's just a show. It's a big show. So be sure you tune in. And then the thing I want to remind you of before the game, they always do, or they just recently started doing this, is the HBCU Classic. Did you know that, Byron?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. One of the activities, I should say they air. It's called the NBA HBCU Classic. It's presented by AT&T. And that is at 2:00. And so make sure you take a look at that.
And that's on ESPN?
The NBA, no, TNT.
TNT, okay.
That's on TNT. The biggest thing too, it's a lot going on with this year because they're gonna celebrate the 75th anniversary of the NBA.
Wow.
So they have a lot of the old timers present. They're gonna have a great, halftime show. By the way, it's in Cleveland, Byron.
That LeBron's home state, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. So it's in Cleveland. They got everybody's participating, like Spike Lee. You got Tiffany Haddish. You got Anthony Anderson's. All those are narrators, for the event. And then, of course, because it's going to be a big deal celebrating the 75 years of the NBA being in existence. So that's why I make it a big deal. And then, of course, your halftime, Mary J. Blige, she just performed at the Super Bowl. She will be performing again at the NBA All-Star. You got Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got, quite a bit, DJ D-Nice. So it's going to be a star-studded event this Sunday. So make sure you watch it. Do you know to watch the All-Star game?
Man, let me tell you. So I'm like me and my cousin, Jerona Bay, shouts out. When you was little, growing up in Happy Town in Chattahoochee, Florida, we would go down to Miss Mildred's store, get our little penny candy, the flavored Tootsie Rolls, would get us a little pizza, and we watched the dunk contest. Then we would watch the game. That was like our little tradition, every year when it came time for the All-Star game. And I remember watching Michael Jordan's free throw dunk, mimicking Dr. J, and I didn't know anything about Dr. J at the time. And when we was just like, and the marketing for Michael Jordan back in the day was just so crazy because he had the Wheaties commercial, he had the Gatorade commercial with the I want to be like Mike, a little song, little ditty, and it was just a great time. And every year, always it brings me back to childhood. We sit down and just, we call it, amen. We're going to set up us a little party, and we'd have our little pizza and our can, and we just watch the All-Star game and watch the dunk contest. So yeah, I always look forward to the All-Star game every year.
Look, like I said, they got a lot of activities. All these stars I named are going to be there at different, events. You got, like I said, that HBCU Classic. Now that's today at 2. And you can have Keke Palmer, and she's actually performing the national anthem And the Black Nations have to lift every voice and sing. Yeah, so that's going to be good. And she's going to be accompanied by the Howard University Showtime Choir, the marching band. So that's going to be good.
Sweet.
Yeah, that, like I said, then tonight you got the slam dunk contest, and then of course tomorrow you got the actual game. So make sure everybody tune in to these events. Again, that NBA All-Star is tomorrow, Sunday at 6 p.m. on TNT. But just keep flipping your channels, and I'm sure you'll catch some of the other activity that's going on. Okay. And I want to go ahead and mention again, make sure you go out and support, if you can, your local Malone team. It may be hard to get tickets because I think the tickets went on sale on yesterday, but you may have to make some calls to get tickets because it's going to be a packed house. So if you are there, be there and support. What do you have for entertainment? Are you around the town? That's what you have.
Yeah, around the town. So for around the town, if you guys followed, it was a week before last episode, we had Ms. Dolores Brockner on for her business, Colonics and Massage of Mariana. And at the end, she told me that I needed to come up there and get me a Colonics did. And so Ronnie pointed it out the point, asked me would I do it, and guess what? I went on ahead and did it. So we're going to take this little journey through the steps and show y'all my experience of getting my first colonics. So here we go, around the town. All right, good morning. So just got up. Going to get ready for this colonics. Not nervous, just trying to, get my mind wrapped up on what I'm about to get myself into. So stand by. So what's going on, everybody? Remember that offer that I had earlier at Colonics Massage in Mariana. So I'm actually going to do it, y'all. I'm going to get these colons cleansed. So I'm with my buddy, and we're finna go hang out and stay tuned because it's going to be real. So, guys, I tell you, it was quite an experience. I mean, you get to go through it and, clean you out and get all that gunk out of you and get a boost of energy. All that good stuff. So I'm telling you, mood is nice. Dolores is there to make sure the process goes through, rubs your belly, all that good stuff. And if you're a little squeamish, just calm down. And pretty cool.
So Byron, how did it go? I mean, I've never had one, so just kind of, I see your experience here. Tell us. Tell us how you.
Yeah, hey, I felt 100 pounds lighter after that. I had all kind of energy. I'll say this, for men that may feel, I don't know, squeamish about it, because men, they always make that big issue about, getting that rectal check when it comes time for your colon, or that physical time. Get over that. Dolores makes her and her staff, they make the process, real smooth. And like I say, it's a lot, it's new, but it's good for you. And like I said, I felt a lot better. It wasn't bad at all. The mood is set. You got to, dimly lit. You got, that music, kind of that massage music playing, what I'm saying? So it was cool. It was cool. So I'm not gonna get on, man, it was crazy. No, it was cool. I would suggest anybody to, go ahead and try it out for yourself and see. But yeah, it was cool.
Good. Well, I'm glad you were able to come back and share that experience with us. So maybe you can encourage others. I'm not sure about me, but maybe you can encourage others to get it done as well. I've had a colonoscopy, so to me that was that's enough.
Well, see, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. You're not gonna be asleep or anything like that. It's not the same. It's, and that's the
Right,
thing.
but I'm just
That's the point. Yeah, that's the point
yeah,
she made to me. She was like, a lot of people when they come in, they're real nervous. They think it's like a
yeah.
surgery, and it's not. It's not bad. Like
It's literally excruciating your feces. Literally, that's what it is.
pretty much.
I know
Yeah, you
that's
pretty
about
much push.
yeah,
Yeah, you pretty much pushing it out. It's water that's going into your
yeah,
small intestines, and
yeah.
you just pushing it out. That's it. And then you'll be like, wow, I know that all that was
All that
in
was
me. Yeah, because they say the body stores at least 10 pounds of
waste.
waste in your coat in your intestines that you never get out. So I know a lot of people may remember, like back in the day, those of us that remember our parents used to give us like castor oil or something like that once a year when you were little.
Laxatives.
And
Yeah.
you didn't know why, and that was the main purpose. So this is just another natural way of doing that, just getting that gunk out of you, because you don't want that stuff just sitting you, because you don't want polyps and stuff like that to happen, getting up in there. So it's
Especially
unnecessary.
we'll talk about this in the next segment, but especially for those that are not regular. But we'll talk about that. We'll give a little health tip in the next segment.
Yeah.
But all right, Byron, thank you for sharing that with us. Appreciate that. All right, we're going to go to our next segment. We're going to start with our relationship tea. In this segment, we're going to give some Black history facts, since it is Black History Month. And I'm going to start with Patricia Bath. Patricia Bath was an ophthalmologist. She's credited with discovering or basically inventing laser cataract surgery. Bet you didn't know that, did you, Byron?
I did not. You've been schooled me. That's very rare, because
Yeah.
I'm no lump on my game.
Patricia Bath, ophthalmologist. She's born in Harlem, New York. Basically, she became the first woman member of the Jules Stein Eye Institute. I mean, she was the first African-American person to serve as a resident at the ophthalmology school in New York University. She's also the first African-American woman to serve on staff as a surgeon on UCLA Medical Center. So she had a lot of firsts in her day, but her name is Dr. Patricia Bath. When you get a chance, look her up.
Sweet.
Who do you have?
So for me, I'm trying to keep it local. So I have Armstrong Purdy. Born 1856 as a slave, he was separated from his parents and his siblings. Grew up right here in Jackson County, Florida, on the Waddell's plantation. He worked as a houseboy for the Milton family, where Miss Milton would secretly teach him how to read. He was later educated in law, and after Reconstruction, he was admitted to the bar and became the first African-American lawyer in Jackson County, leaving a huge legacy for all of us to follow. He went on to create successful businesses. In 1876, he became a poll inspector in Campbellton, Florida. He published the West Florida Bugle newspaper in 1888. In 1919, he received the commission's approval to erect the World War I Colored Soldiers Monument, which has yet to be erected. And in 2019, Wells Fargo Bank in Marianna, Florida, dedicated a mural in his honor. So you can go and check it out. Just find out their open hours and see that mural. But Armstrong Purdy is my person of the week.
Very good. It's so awesome to learn these Black history facts, especially the unknowns. We hear certain ones we hear all the time, but there are those that we don't, like Dr. Patricia Bath. She holds 5 patents. 5 patents.
Wow.
Wasn't taught that in school. We were not. So again, let's try to pass this knowledge on to especially our young people, so they'll know. I mean, and she just died in 2019. So, and still we never heard of her. I mean, yeah, we don't hear that name at all. But want to give you those facts. So now we're going to kind of move over and give you some health tips. We talked about, taking care of your body as far as getting rid of waste. We want to make sure that people understand it's very important to have, annual checkups. You want to have your your annual physical, get your blood work done. For women, get your pap smear, get your mammogram. You want to, just make sure even the basic stuff, teeth cleaning, eye exam, get your blood pressure checked. That should be checked often, not just once a year, but you want to visit your doctor and make sure that you are on top of your health. What do you think about the tests for, let's encourage the tests for men, Byron? What do you have?
Yeah, so men, we've got to get those, prostate checks, colonoscopies, even when it comes to our overall health, work out that ticker, work out that ticker, try to do the best we can to stay as in best in physical shape, to keep that heart strong. But one key point, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people, especially Black men and women, to that point, is a lot of us don't know our family history, our family health history. A lot of women may not know that they have, a history of breast cancer. Some may not know that they have a history of cervical cancer. Men, you may not, because you don't have these conversations with your dad, your granddad, you don't know that you have a history of prostate cancer in your family. So you don't know to say, let the doctor know, so you can start getting those checkups early. So I would suggest for a lot of people to have those conversations with your family members to find out, and maybe your parents didn't think to even, dig deep into that. But for you to be able to, kind of try to be ahead of things, and there's nothing wrong with being, preventative. Like I say, I'm a old military guy, so we push us platoon sergeants and first sergeants, we push that PMCS, preventative maintenance checks and services. If you're preventing, you can prevent something from big happening, and if you do find something, you can catch it at the right time. So yeah, that's something that I would highly suggest, is that if you haven't had those talks, have those talks and do the things that you need to do, to give longevity to yourself, and not just live longer, but live longer healthy.
A quality life.
Quality of life. There you go.
And so just, like I said, start with, make sure you have your basic, get your teeth cleaned. Unfortunately, gum disease can lead to other diseases. So if you're not getting your teeth clean, that can lead to gum disease, which can lead to something else. All right, get your eye exam. If you're trying to figure out why you can't see, go get it checked out. But have a regular eye exam. Again, get your blood work done. Let your doctor, have your labs done, and don't just have them done and not ask questions when the results come back. Have your doctor or the nurse to explain to you, what does it mean? What does this number mean? What, they normally check for your glucose, of course, your triglycerides, LCD, HDL. They'll check for all that. Vitamin D, I encourage everybody to get their vitamin D checked, because that was one of the things that was found out on this year. Actually, when COVID first hit, a lot of people's vitamin D was low. And so those people were more susceptible to getting COVID. So get your vitamin D level checked. Again, have all your blood work checked. Don't sleep on anything, especially if you have a history of something. Get your thyroid checked, Yep. Have an overall health check once a year. Get it all out the way, at the beginning of the year, and, you'll be done with it, So again, ladies, I can't urge you enough. Mammograms, pap smear, bone density for our seasoned ladies, get your bone density test. If you're over, I think now it's over 50, get your colonoscopy done, or if you have a history in your family, get it done sooner, so just be on top of your health, get all your exams done. And so you can be able to continue to live in good health. And also know what numbers mean. Like I mentioned before, don't just walk out the doctor's office and let them tell you anything. Ask them, what does that mean? And you should know, your blood pressure should be 120/80. That's a good range. Your pulse should be less than 100.
Yeah. No, don't do like me. Know what that A1C is supposed to be.
Exactly. Know what that is. Know what your
and
pulse.
Yeah. And I know I have a family history of diabetes, but it it just came out of nowhere and boom. Battling that thing is something else. So yeah,
You gotta stay on top of
definitely.
it. Yeah,
I
keep
gotta stay on top of it.
yeah. So know what your glucose, fasting, know what that should be, just know what the number should be, and don't just take it for granted that, you're just walking around not knowing. Don't do that. Not good. So, but we want to just give you some health tips for this month and to get you going, since it is the beginning of the year and most people get their checkups for the beginning of the year. So I want to encourage you to do so, and you'll thank us later, right?
That's right.
All right, Byron, you have anything else?
No, that's it for me. Everybody just make sure you, for Black History Month, you make sure you go get the first ever children's book about Emancipation Day in Florida. Florida's Emancipation Day. May Day and Me, celebrating Florida's Emancipation Day. We've hammered about health and being healthy. So if you need some help getting that ticker worked out, like I mentioned earlier, you get up with Roni, and she'll set you straight. She'll get you right. She'll get those hamstrings, those quads, those tricep, biceps, abs, that core nice and tight. So you make sure you get in contact with her. And if you want to get some nice apparel appropriate to the culture and appropriate to May Day and Emancipation Day, just go to www.520foreverfree.com. So that's it for me.
And we're posting our Black History Facts on our Facebook page. So the ones that we're mentioning and even others, we're posting them so you can learn about them and pass the knowledge on to somebody else. Okay. And so we're going to wrap the show up today. And we thank you again for watching the show. And remember, when you know the truth, you can speak the truth. And the light shines brighter when it shines for two. We'll see you next week.